Hey guys, what's going on? Andrew coming at you, and in this one, we're talking about a Swedish summer hus. Stay to the end of this video so you can hear about a meetup I'm doing in Linköping. Let's get into the video. I thought it'd be fun to talk about the Swedish summer home, or what is commonly called is the sommarstuga. Now, Swedish summer homes are like a separate home that you go to off in the woods. They usually just have like electricity and water, but they don't have everything like usually like toilets to run inside. So it's very common to have like an outhouse or a special toilet you use. Most likely you're not going to have internet and certain things that you would have in a regular home. But the whole idea of the Swedish summer home is like to get away from society and just kind of chill out, get away from the stress of regular everyday life. And if we have something called the American dream, and I'm going to call this one the Swedish dream, because the American dream is you want to have a big house, you want to own it, you want to live independently and have some money. Swedish dream would be to have a house that's modest, that has everything you need to not maybe overconsume, but also have a Swedish summer house that you can pass down to your kids and their kids' kids. It's like a dream to just have it and then be able to share it with others. There are over 600,000 Swedish summer homes in Sweden, and 50% of Swedes have access to a summer home either from a friend or a family member. It's usually something that you share with one another, because that's really a lot with Swedish society, is sharing things. However, I believe, me being an immigrant myself, that if you're an immigrant and come to Sweden, especially like a first or second generation immigrant, this is probably one of the cultural differences that's very difficult to grasp or take in, because it takes a little bit longer to make friends with Swedes, and you really have to know someone to get access to a home. I think that even for immigrants, it would be like a dream to eventually have one. It just might take a couple more generations to have access to it, because you want to have a home for yourself first. And it was definitely something I noticed that maybe took me like 1.5 to 2 years before I got access. Now, you can go to the sommarstuga in the summer, winter, it really depends, but I would say a majority of people use it in the summer just because they have more time off from work. In Swedish cities like Stockholm or Göteborg, you really can't see like the stars sometimes in the sky. That's really a huge thing. I know a lot of Swedes that go to a Swedish summer home to like work with their hands. Like they have a garden there, or they're building something, or they're fixing up something on their summer home. And I know like there's something very therapeutic about working on one simple activity and just like dedicating that for a week. It's like very meditative. And there's just something about having a goal, working on it, and then seeing it get accomplished. That simple stuff that we do when you don't have access to the smartphone, when you're not taking in all this information at once, and you're just really connecting with nature. I think that's a huge thing. I think people that are sad really need nature. Swedes have a huge love for nature. We have the thing called Rock, where you can pretty much share nature with one another as long as you take care of it. I don't mean to simplify it here, but I've talked about it in other videos. Swedes feel this connection with nature and really a love for it, and it's really something that's engraved in every Swedish child, is the love of nature, being outside, taking in sun, especially when you don't get a lot of sun in the wintertime. You really got to get out more. Most Swedish summer homes are going to be in somewhere near like a body of water where you can like swim in a lake, or you'll have access to maybe someone has a boat and you can go out on the boat, maybe you can fish. So most of the summer homes I've been to, yes, very close to a lake. Sweden has so many lakes, it's ridiculous. So it's really hard to not be close to a lake. But that's for the majority of summer homes that I have seen it. I thought it'd be fun in this video to also go into like the differences between Swedish parties and American parties, because the sommarstuga I went to, it was a crayfish party. You know, it's very common for summer homes to have a party like a crayfish party, as long as it's close enough to like a city where people are. So the sommarstuga I went to was about an hour from Stockholm, which was really cool. Crayfish parties, I think, are a lot of fun. I'm more of a pro now at eating the crayfish, although I tried to crack the claw and it blew up in my face at the party, which maybe wasn't so fun. Crayfish parties are fun because like you're hanging on to the last little bit of summer. You're drinking schnapps with a lot of friends, and you're just kind of like laying back. And it was really fun to go to a summer home and do this, because there's just something more chill about it. Like, I felt more relaxed in general because you're just out in nature, you're not on your phone, you're not taking in like that regular everyday life stuff. Now, the difference I would say between Swedish parties and American parties, however, this party was different, is a lot of times at Swedish parties, you have to bring your own alcohol. What was really cool about this party is everybody brought their own alcohol, but you shared it. So you put it in a bucket and you could just take whatever you wanted out of the bucket. I thought that was a really, really cool idea. People that have schnapps, you share schnapps with one another. Another thing is that supposedly like American parties, like when I was in college, someone would buy like a keg, which is like a huge amount of alcohol, and you would pay like $5 to have like a cup of alcohol, which I always found to be interesting. Another thing is that like Swedish parties, almost everyone I've been to run by Swedes is like always some type of icebreaker game. I think that Swedes really enjoy games in general and kind of need that as an icebreaker. Swedes need a little bit more of like an excuse to talk, no offense. I feel like Americans are a little bit more open, and most of the parties I saw at American parties would be like beer pong or something. You would sign up at the table and that would be fun. Whereas like Swedish parties, the party we were at, we did a version of Kung, which is this game with blocks, and it was like a race to see who could finish first. This was a lot of fun. We had a drink, we had like a Coca-Cola taste challenge where you had to guess if it was Coke, Pepsi, Diet Coke. That was really, really fun. We had to guess Swedish cities on a map and where they were located. One of the most popular ones I always get at every party is going to be like a music quiz. Swedes love their music quizzes. Like it seems like every city has one bar where they have like a music quiz night. It's just something that's very, very popular here, and I don't think we have as many games in the United States. As I said, I think Americans can just kind of talk openly, but at first, because that's just how we are society-wise, but like the difference is too, like people go to house parties to meet each other, but also kind of be within their own group, whereas like Americans usually, I think, go to bars and go to parties to like meet other people, and so I think it's easier for us to do that at first than maybe some Swedes. Swedes need a little bit of alcohol first, a little bit of an icebreaker, and then Swedes are super chill about stuff. I love the party environment in Sweden, but it usually typically is I go to a party, if I don't know anyone, it takes about an hour or two until I'm really, really having good conversation. I'm really talking to people. I think people need to relax, they need to have a drink or two, and then they're really curious and want to talk. But I will tell you, at parties where I've had like an icebreaker game first, it did make it much more easier to start talking to everybody. I think Swedes are super friendly and open. You just got to give them like just a little bit more time. That's really it. I guess Swedes are shy. I do feel that, but I think it has more to do with just being more reserved. And I definitely feel that way more. Maybe you guys find it hard to believe because I have a YouTube channel, but I definitely feel more reserved than I did in the beginning. I really hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Really quickly, if you're going to be in the Linköping area October 12th, I'm going to do a meet and greet, but it's going to be a little bit different because, as some of you know, I'm a musician. So I'm actually going to open for a band here in Linköping. So I'm going to play for about 30 minutes. You have to buy tickets to go to this event, but I'm going to link the Facebook event below. And if you buy tickets and you go to the event, I will make sure that after you hear me play, that we can take some time to talk to one another, because I think that would be really fun. For me to do a meet and greet, I think it's cool if I can do like an activity and then talk to you guys as well. We just have a good time together. So if you're interested, the link's below. Click the link, join. Tickets might sell out, so it's maybe a good idea to pick up the tickets beforehand because there is a limited capacity at this event. And just make sure to come up and say hi to me, and I would love to talk with you or take a picture with you and just learn more about you. So, and just like what kind of videos you watch and everything. So for you guys that watch my channel and videos, I just really enjoy it. It's fantastic. If you like this video, like it. If you want to share it, please share it. I hope you enjoyed the quality of this video, and I will see you guys in the next one. Hej då!